Hi Kathy, hope your spring break is going well. Um, Again, I just want to tell you that your portfolio looks great, obviously matches your content area in an interesting way. Um, and I know that you've kind of worked hard to get the layout to look like this, and I think it looks great. So I really like how you did the visual literacy and visual representation. Um, you're the only one to break it down that way, and I like that. I think it's helpful. I think that so encoding is actually making a symbol or contributing to the representations that are out there. Decoding is taking a representation and breaking it down or finding meaning in the symbol. So I think you've got these switched. Um, and one suggestion I'd have here, oh, by the way, I like this example. I actually had a friend that was hosting one of our mutual friends from New Zealand a couple weeks ago, and she made this mistake. So it's not only in England, it's in New Zealand as well. So I like that you go through and talk about this. One thing that I would recommend is kind of explicitly talking about these other things that we did. So talking about draw programs and paint programs. So that could be an example, some examples that you use when you talk about encoding. And then hyperlink to those pages. Right now it almost feels like this is separate from these other pages, and ideally it would set it up and link to these other pages so it's clear that that it's describing what you've done and what we're going to be seeing. Because honestly, a lot of people will only read this, and then they'll kind of go to these other pages if they're really interested. So it's nice to have it hyperlinked and discuss those things in this first page. So I think that's kind of the major thing I saw. Let me go through these other pages with you as well. I thought this reflection is really strong. Also, great images up here. And I like how you really went through the what, so what, and now what. So talking about when you're in school, how would you use this? So I thought that was really good. So if we go over to Paint, again, you do a really good job of talking about the what, so what, now what. You might want to expand on the now what. Give a little bit more detail there. But yeah, I like that you talk about the different affordances of the tool, and you do a great job there. So then if I go over to modified images, this always makes me smile. I think that's great. And I like that it's big enough that I can see your tools really well. Or not your tools, I can see your products really well, and I can actually read it. So that's nice that it's that large. On some of them it's kind of hard to see on some other portfolios. So on this one, I think you do a really good job of talking about the what and then the so what down here, and you're kind of talking about students, and I guess that could imply the now what, but I would just again expand on the now what. What does this mean for you as a teacher and for your students, and how could you incorporate this in your future teaching? And then teaching with graphics, Priscilla will give you feedback on this, so I won't do that. But again, everything looks really good. I've just add a couple things on the now what on those pages, and on the graphics home, expand on that a little bit and hyperlink, and make the changes that I suggested. But everything looks great. Hope that your spring break is going well, and I'll see you next week. Bye.